Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where you get free swim workouts and tips that help you swim better. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete, and with me is Kyle Brill, two-time Olympic trial swimmer, former D1 athlete, all-around stud and nice guy. Kyle, how you doing? You just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, thanks for the wonderful intro as always. It gives me a little more life. I was definitely definitely pretty sleepy, so I'm all good to go
we
now
we
though.
went down to press record, or I was started the Zoom meeting, and we're like 10 minutes after like we are supposed to record, and Kyle calls me. He's like, Nate, I just woke up, give me 5 minutes. And I'm like, it's okay, man, no big deal. But Kyle, good to have you, man. I love hearing your insights on swimming, and yeah, I feel like we make a good team. We can give the people different perspectives on swimming, and yeah.
Yeah, nothing like the good swim sets by the pool to be waking me right up out of my sleep. So
Yeah, yeah.
it'll
To be
yeah.
fair, he was sleeping and it was only like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, dude works hard though. He wakes up. Uh,
I'm fired up now. We're all good to go. We're good. We got an exciting one for you guys today, so
yeah,
I can't be.
we got a great swim set. But before that, Kyle, what's your quick tip for the audience?
Oh man, I've kind of given this tip before in a different form, but I think that eating food, I was talking about how I've said before how I don't think fueling is or like I don't think fueling during practice is an essential thing, but I do think fueling for swimming is absolutely essential. And for people that can't eat in the morning, right before morning practice, find a way to just shove a ton of food down you before you go to sleep. Because if you get like if you can delay your dinner, say you go to bed at 9 o'clock for your 6 a.m. morning practice, if you can get your dinner in at like 8:30 and still fall
Oh
asleep pretty well,
man.
because if you can't stomach any food in the morning when you wake up and you have to throw yourself in that pool, you'll at least have a fighting chance of having all that food in your stomach so you can finish the whole practice through. I've seen way too many of my fellow athletes or like fellow swimmers I've been swimming with just bonk out of fuel like halfway through a morning practice because they ate dinner at 5 and they're still running off that fuel that they from that dinner they ate at 5 o'clock the day before, and it's already
I,
9 in the
I
morning.
don't know if this is a good tip. I don't I don't know. I feel like eating 30 minutes before you go to bed, your body's gonna be like digesting that food, and it's gonna it's gonna make it harder for you to fall asleep. No.
Most certainly, but I'm saying this is a last resort for people that absolutely can't stomach food up in the morning. Either that or you got to wake up earlier and let your stomach wake up because I would rather have a slight bit of issue with digestion as I was sleeping than completely throw away my practice the next day from not having enough food in me. Or, it like because if you can't stomach food in the morning before your practice, you sure as heck aren't going to be able to stomach food while you're swimming and you need to refuel unless you're
Yeah,
really
true, true.
like, when is your stomach going to wake up? So I've just seen too many people make too many excuses on not being able to get that nutrition in the morning. And my solution to it is like, at some point you've got to be hungry. So take advantage of it. Like maybe eat your dinner then and have an extra snack or something. But figure out a way to like keep those calories in your body if you can't put them in the morning. That's just what I'm mostly going for. Don't sacrifice your sleep though either. Find a balance for sure.
Yeah, fueling yourself properly for swimming is really important. Swimming burns a ton of calories, and obviously it's kind of hard to eat stuff while you're swimming. Oftentimes you only have a little bit of short rest. One thing I do is like a carb drink. So I do a drink, like a sports drink with electrolytes and carbs in it, and I drink that pretty much every practice. And yeah, when I started doing that, that really helped me not bonk as many swim sessions because before I would just like not eat anything before like 5:30 a.m. swims, and then I would just have plain water, not like Kyle does
Yeah.
like from the pool. I would like bring a water bottle. But yeah, I would just like drink plain water, and like an hour in, if it was like an hour and a half practice, I would just be gone. Like I had no energy left. So that's a good tip. Yeah, you gotta fuel. You gotta fuel to perform. It's not just about crushing workouts. You have to balance your diet, balance your lifestyle if you're trying to be the best athlete you can be. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think triathletes, like it seems like the community has their nutrition way more dialed in than the swim community does. It's the triathlon, like triathletes are very like aware that, eating is like the fourth discipline in quotations of a
Hmm.
triathlon. The races are long enough to where it becomes crucial, but a lot of swimmers just can kind of BS their way through the fueling process and like they can, and then I don't think swimmers also are as aware in their minds about what it feels like to bonk from like not having enough food in you. And I think triathletes are very aware of that because your heart rate can get a little higher outside the water and you can burn more calories. But swimmers sometimes they just think they're having an off day and they have no idea that they just ran out of food. Like, and some days it's like you are almost full, like sure of yourself that you ate enough and you really didn't, and they just aren't able to recognize that. So I'm just trying to call out to the swim community here as someone that's on partly on the other side here, like there's a lot to be figured out. So just yeah, make sure you're dialing that in, and it can be game changing, especially if you've been neglecting it in the past. So
Nice. Well, thank you, Kyle, for that. And yeah, that's something to consider for sure. But today we have an awesome set. I've kept this one in the archive. I've kept it in the back pocket. This is from the swim group in Namibia that I swam with earlier this year on training camp. Jorn is the head coach. Super nice guy, really cares about all of his athletes and he cares about swimming. And he writes really interesting and cool sets. And we'll have it up if you're watching on YouTube. But if you're not, he uses this heart rate zone system with like different colored hearts to like describe the intensity zones, which I think is really interesting. And he coaches a lot of juniors and younger athletes, so up and coming, um, yeah, swimmers who are learning about their bodies and learning how to push themselves. So I think it's a really cool way to help them gauge their efforts on that. But man, some of his sets are brutal, especially for me, because like I came into this camp like mostly swimming freestyle, like a triathlete. And he does a lot of stroke sets, a lot of IM sets. He has a lot of good stroke swimmers in his club. And yeah, the warm up, we're just going to dive right into it. This is like an IM and freestyle set with like a little fly set in there. It's 400 mixed strokes with fins, which before I went to Namibia, I'd never warmed up with fins before, like first thing straight away. And now I love it because, like, honestly, like yesterday, I got in the pool because I'm able to swim a little bit more now. And I had a 9 mile run in the morning and like a 30-mile bike ride. So my legs were a little tired. It's like having those fins on and getting in the pool for an afternoon session is really nice. It helps keep your legs up, helps, you know, get you going in the water when your legs are just dead. So yeah, I really like warming up with fins. And yeah, then it's 2 times 350s free on 50 seconds, just kind of get in there, maybe a little descend in there probably, and 150 free fast on 115, so decent amount of rest. And then 300 as 3x1 reverse IM order, which I think is pretty fun doing reverse IM order. It's just, especially in warm up, it gets
yeah,
you moving
yeah.
in like a different way. And then it's reverse IM. So like you don't really care about the time. It's just like whatever. What do you think about that, Kyle?
I love reverse time order for warm up. I think it tricks people into thinking because they don't have to start with butterfly that it's going to be better and it makes it more approachable. It's I was gonna say too before you jumped into the set, like I feel like a lot of people that especially here in the US like don't like realize that there are like swimming pools all over Africa. Like as bad as that sounds, or like as weird as that sounds, like it's really cool how there is like a super structured like dialed program in like Namibia. Because as someone that swims, like I never see any swim meets happening in Africa, with the exception of probably South Africa, and some swimmers being from there. Like I think this is just such a cool concept too, that like we are getting a set from this part of the world. I feel like there is not a lot of people that have been able to go to a place like this, include like especially in the competitive swim community. No swimmers like on the US circuit are ever going to Africa for like swimming, and this is a really cool. It's got some really cool concepts in here, ones that I've seen before, but like really I wouldn't say like anything like groundbreaking, but warming up with fins, like that's a great thing to do. This like I can tell the guy that wrote this set, he really like knows what he's doing and is putting up a good warm up here. So it's just a really like fun concept that there's this training camp in Namibia.
Yeah,
just like
Namibia's
middle of
the
Africa.
spot. So
Yeah.
this a little more background about this. Like, Windhoek is the capital city of Namibia. It's kind of like the Boulder of Africa, I would say. It's like a similar altitude to Boulder, Colorado. It's like in between 5 and 6,000 feet, and since it's in the southern hemisphere near South Africa, it's pretty warm in like February and March. So that's why a lot of Europeans, a lot of Germans go there for German triathletes go there for training camp. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, and like I was really impressed with the swim program there, and yeah, there's some great athletes, and they train hard, and I think it's cool to see swimming popping up and getting like more popular in other parts of the world. So yeah, super rad.
Yeah, cool stuff there. Really like yeah, swimming and yeah, doing a meet in Africa is not a lot of things a swimmer like a lot not a lot of like
Yeah, I
it's
did a
something not
swim
a lot
meet
of
in
US
Africa.
swimmers yeah, can check off their bucket list. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's probably less than one in, 10,000 swimmers here can claim that that title there. So
yeah. It's pretty fun, and it was my first long course swim meet ever too. Was in Namibia, so that was really cool. But anyways, to finish off the warm up, 450s as 25 max kick, 25 easy kick, and then 100 easy. I really like that. So they do a lot of their practices in a 25-meter pool, and then some of them they do in a 50-meter pool. But this is probably in the 25-meter pool. But yeah, 25 max kick, 25 easy. I think it's nice. I like that. I like this warm up a lot. There's really nothing I would change about this. Like, you get a little bit of everything in, and I know that a lot of their practices are in the afternoon, so I think that's why the fins is nice. You've been on your legs all day. It's good to like warm up, and it's good to feel fast too, at the start. So yeah,
yeah.
what are your thoughts on this warm up?
No, totally. I like that plan. Like normally people's shoulders tend to be a lot more loose in the afternoon. They've been having more time to walk around. They're not as stiff. There's more blood flowing through them, and so but the legs can get really fatigued, especially if workouts have been added on, like a run happened or a bike ride in the morning or something like that. So, especially for a triathlete, that would be really, really good to get the legs worked on. And I just yeah, the afternoon kind of needs like in my opinion, a spicier, shorter warm up. And I think like yeah, I think in the morning I like to really take time to warm up my shoulders and my arms and stuff like this. But seeing like kind of a bit more of an emphasis on kicking for the warm up here was, especially knowing this is an afternoon set, I think is kind of a cool concept. And I still feel like if I was to do this set in the afternoon, I'd be pretty ready to go after this.
Hmm. Yeah, and I like that. There's also a little fast 50 in there. Pretty early on. Like it only comes so like that 150 fast only comes like when you've swam like 600 meters, which I think is really cool too. To get a little bit of fast swimming in there, and there's always that one kid who like races that first 50, like that's his main goal for the practice, and then after that he just
Yeah.
like fades away. But it's fun,
And
it keeps you on your toes.
yeah, and swimming is not like running in my opinion. Like with running, it's like if you were to run like, a quarter of a mile for your warm up and go into a straight sprint, like it might screw you up bad. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a lot of pressure onto the ground. And unless you have like serious shoulder problems with swimming or like an injury that is kind of ongoing that you need to be like taken care of. With swimming, you could throw yourself into the pool, assuming your core temp is like high enough, you could throw yourself into the pool and immediately start sprinting and probably would not injure yourself. And if anything, it would probably actually get you warmed up a lot quicker than somebody taking their time. So, um, swimmer, yeah, like that's another like I don't know, hot take, quick tip throwing in there. Like swimmers, don't be scared to like do a full sprint really early on into a warm up. We can handle it in the water. We're not doing the impact that runners are. So triathletes too, like don't think you have to get all the way like halfway into your workout to be able to go full speed. You can do it at a lot of times throughout the practice. You may not be going as fast as you possibly could, like because you're not fully warmed up yet, but you definitely can still try to sprint.
Yeah. Okay. So Kyle, that's the warm up. Now we got this
Yeah.
little fly set. I've done something similar when I was on training camp with them, and these sets wrecked me. It was so hard. So essentially, it's a 1K fly set. So you're swimming fly for 1K, and it's broken up as 10 25s, and you do that 4 times. So 10 25s would be like 250. Um, and it's no fins on 40 seconds, hypoxic 2. So that means you're only allowed to breathe twice for the
Oh, I
25.
see. Yeah.
Um, so then it's with fins. Oh, shoot, I was getting a spam call. Sorry, you guys. Hope you didn't hear that. And then it's with fins on 35 seconds, hypoxic 2, no fins on 30 seconds. So much less rest, but you get to breathe 4 times now, which is very generous. And then with fins on 25 seconds. Um, and you get to breathe 4 times. So, what do you think of that set? What do you think of that structure?
Wow.
And it's all butterfly.
It's 1025 straight of number one, then 1025 straight of number two. Like so it
Yeah,
follows that pattern. Oh
yeah.
wow, okay. Yeah, I'm getting it now. Wow, yeah, that fourth one, it definitely gets very tricky very fast. I mean, considering this is a meter set too, that's pretty tough for 25 seconds, especially to be like doing breath hold for fly. Although I would
Mhm.
say 4 breaths for a 25 is not terrible. It's pretty generous if you especially if you're a butterfly that only takes 6 to 7 strokes to get across the pool in a 25 meter, fly.
Yeah.
So that's holding your breath every other stroke maybe on those faster ones, but that'll definitely get your heart rate up really high. I like the hypoxic component into it too because I think it adds fatigue without really putting the maximum amount of strain on your muscles. Like I think
Mhm.
it kind of limits you like because you're so out of breath it limits your muscles from being able to like fully get just wrecked. So it's kind of a good this is a really good set in my opinion to put in but if there's something else following it because
Mhm.
you're going to be able to wear yourself out and really warm yourself up but you're not going to be able to like completely kill yourself on this if you want to try to hold the breathing pattern.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing that I like about this too is it's gives you a little bit of challenge and it's very engaging. So it's like you're getting a little bit less rest as the set goes on. You also have to focus on like the breathing pattern, so it keeps you very locked in, and it kind of tricks you into doing 1K of butterfly without like thinking too hard because you really don't get that much time to think. Like by the time you have enough time to think, he's blowing the whistle and you guys are going on like the next interval. So
Yeah, it's
that's what I
disguised.
really like about it.
Yeah, it's disguised with those fast interval 25. So people think, oh, it's kind of easy. Nothing in there specifically says like fast. It seems
Mhm.
like an aerobic set. So yeah, it's a good it's an easy way to convince someone to do that. It's very doable, and then it gets a little bit harder, but it's not impossible. I like
Yeah.
the disguise of it. It's very well written in
It's like,
there.
"Oh, I could do a 25 on 40 seconds. That's not that hard." You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Sometimes that makes a good set is when you can it's almost like, giving the dog the treat with the peanut butter coating on it, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they don't really know they're eating the treat. Like
Yeah.
you could do that with swimmers, especially younger kids with a swim set. You can if you write
Mhm.
a good set, you can disguise some pretty ugly things in there and make them seem like they're wrapped up nice and neat. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's get into the main set. So this is 6 times 200 IM on 320, and then 450s free on 50 seconds. And I'm looking at the heart graph. The IM is supposed to be heart rate, I think 150 to 170. And then the free is supposed to be heart rate 180 to 190. So pretty fast. Um, and
Um,
I'm like trying to match the colors of the
It,
hearts.
it's hard to tell if it's pink and red or pink and purple or
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe
they
it's pink and red.
might be pink and red. Yeah. Even still, for
Yeah,
for swimmers too, like that's a good thing to add. Like your heart rate is not going to get quite as high in the pool as easily. So
yeah,
150 to 170 is, especially even if you're a younger kid, is not that's moving pretty good. Like
yeah,
that's running equivalent, that's at least threshold, if not a little bit stronger. So
yeah. So essentially, this is a 2,400 meter main set, which is pretty beefy. 6 200s IM and 450s. That's 200 6 times. Um, I like that it's a little bit IM and then freestyle because man, that's a lot of 200 IMs. I'm just having like
yeah.
flashbacks to when I was on training camp there, and I'm just like doing so much IM and like getting dusted. Um, but yeah, is this what do you think of this? What are your thoughts on this set?
as an IMer, I really like this. I think it's kind of cool that he has the heart rate zones because it does a lot of like it adds that exact complexity in terms of the pacing. And I think a lot of coaches just use words like you know, fast or strong or like, whatever, or like, they got a lot of different like languages for things and people don't exactly know how to interpret it. But with these, it's like not only does he have the heart rate put on it, but he also has in brackets, zones of what it's going to feel like. So,
Hmm.
he's got zone one, zone two, those kind of things. So like it's really and approachable in terms of like what the goal is that you like what truly is the goal here on
Hmm.
in terms of pace. Like you don't have to decipher, oh, what does this coach normally mean when he says, this word
Hmm.
for
Or like
describing the
how hard
speed.
should I be going right now? Am I going
Yeah.
too hard or am I going too easy? Or like, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the coaches at UCSB, I'll give him a shout out, Matt Harder. I was doing one of his sets the other day with the team, and he had this similar key implemented, and it was really nice. It was like very without even having to ask a single question to the coach about how fast it was like it was very clearly there. Oh, sorry, the planes are flying over me. I live under an airport, so
Oh, no
hopefully you
worries.
guys are getting
No,
feedback
I
on
can't hear it.
that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think this is an awesome set, and yeah, the 450s that like it kind of gives you a little reset too, and they're on 52nd, which isn't that hard, so like you can kind of cruise. Um, that makes it a little more digestible to get into that 200 IM again, which is really solid. And yeah, honestly, like as hard as the set seems, like I can't wait to get back into like being able to swim and like do some stroke stuff. Because I would love to do this set. And then yeah, the last little bit is that cool down 850s. And I this is the part I really like. This is like the cherry on top, you know? It's like a lot of coaches are just like, oh, just cool down 200 or cool down 300, whatever. But this one, it's 850s. It's 25 underwater and then 25 where you just kind of like float on your back and use both your arms to like get across.
Yeah.
Um, they're probably wearing fins for this. I remember we did a lot of our cool downs with fins. So 25 underwater with fins, not that hard. Um, and you get plenty of oxygen, plenty of rest on that 25 coming back. It's just those little things like doing those underwaters at the end. It's not that hard, but it gives you a little extra, you know? And I really like that.
Yeah, and I like it too. And just like how hypoxic helps a lot with warm up too, is like you're not putting that strain on your muscles with hypoxic. Like you're still being able to cool down your muscles while still keeping your heart rate higher for a significant portion of the workout. When you do those 25s, like and you do those underwaters, like you might be breathing hard when you get to the wall, before like you get out of the water, but you feel very refreshed, very relaxed. Like you're not like the lactic acid has been flushed out of your body. You aren't accumulating lactic acid as much by holding your breath like that. You're actually, if anything, just like, your those muscles have to stay loose, less tense. Your heart rate needs to try to get a little bit lower. So if anything, it like actually kind of forces you into the proper warm down speed. So hypoxic warm downs are, in my opinion, one of my favorite things to see on a set, and it really speaks volumes to me seeing that
Yeah.
in the program there. And a lot of coaches don't do that, so I think that's pretty cool.
I also just thought of this. So there was a World Cup for triathlon in Chile recently, and it was an ocean swim. They had some pretty decent waves, and they showed a sweet drone overhead shot of I believe it was the elite women's race. So these are like incredible, like world class level athletes, some of the best triathletes in the world. But because of the waves, some of these girls didn't dive under and didn't stay under long enough, and they just got pushed back like 10, 20 meters by these waves, you know? And
Yeah.
like it's like the first 50 meters of the swim course, and you see like a huge spread, like a bigger spread of athletes than you've seen in any other World Cup this year. And doing stuff like this where you know like, oh, I can do 825s underwater, no problem. Like you could dive under a wave, stay under there long enough to where the currents like has washed over you and you can get up and start swimming. I think this is something that you can like more triathletes should implement to get confident in the ocean,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't live by the ocean. I can't be confident in like the ocean. But like this is a skill you could practice in the pool that when you get
Mhm.
to the ocean,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I can hold my breath. I'll be fine.
Getting control of your breath while being underwater and locking yourself underwater and allowing your body to relax is something that takes honestly sometimes longer to pick up than like an actual stroke technique in swimming. Like
Yeah.
developing that, like without it getting hammered into you with something like this can be really difficult, and it translates over so well. Just like being confident underwater and like knowing how to relax your body so you don't waste more oxygen and all that kind of thing. You can learn so much of that from just doing hypoxic work in the pool. And it translates really well to surfing and yeah, open water swimming and especially like, lifeguarding where people are just having to get under waves and dodge things and hold their breath for periods of time. It teaches you a ton about your body and how it works and pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of benefits to hypoxic that people don't like, yeah, we've just scratched the surface kind of with what it can do for a swimmer. So pretty cool stuff in there. It's always fun to have that in the workout.
Yeah. So actually that's my hot take is more triathletes need to be able to do a 25 underwater, or else you're selling yourself short when you go to these races. And yeah. So that's all I got for you guys today, folks. Kyle, thank you for being on the pod as always. I'll let you
Thanks for having me.
get back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going right back. As soon as I shut this laptop, I'm
Nice.
jumping into my bed. Just kidding.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.